Sport.
Welcome back to the Allianz Arena. Thomas Müller, at the very least, being introduced by Pep Guardiola at half-time. 0-0. Bayern with the Brazilian team Sao Paulo. At half-time in the second match of this Audi Cup. The winners will face Manchester City in tomorrow's final. They overcame AC Milan by 5-3. And it looks as though Mario Mandzukic, the Croatian, is also coming on to replace Claudio Pizarro. That's the definite change anyway from Guardiola at half-time. It's not altogether surprising.
I thought Mandzukic last year was outstanding. Saw him play on many occasions. He ran the line, he drifted into wide areas. He's got a great understanding with Müller as well. When Müller was playing in the wide position, Mandzukic through the middle, they rotated their positions. Part of their game plan. That's where they started moves at times, hitting balls down the channel.
Just waiting for Sao Paulo to reappear. They had to make an alteration in defence after 12 minutes of this game. Good to see Robben and Ribéry out for the second half for Bayern. We have plenty of younger members of the squad on the bench tonight, ready for some experience. If Pep Guardiola decides that is what they need.
They've got a young player on their books, Emre Can, who's captained all the German young teams. He's meant to be one of the up-and-coming players. Whether he can get in the side in the next couple of years, we have to wait and see with Thiago coming to the club.
That's the signature that they all want before the start of this season. Pep Guardiola, who won the treble in his first season at Barcelona, taking over Bayern, a team that have done just that. Sao Paulo are going to make another change. They'll just be delighted, Stuart, that this game is at 0-0.
Well, they came, defended very deeply. Ganzo, one of the, maybe 3 or 4 years ago when he was playing for the Brazilian young teams, he was meant to be the next one. Played in the Copa America a little while ago when it was in Argentina. Didn't really influence games. And subsequently got left out the side. He's had a couple of injuries as well.
He was linked extensively with Tottenham during that time as well. Still only 23. He, in the end, left Santos, where he and Neymar were best friends, came through the system together. He left a year ago to join Sao Paulo in a very controversial switch in Brazil. Anyway, he's on for the second half, as is Mandzukic for Bayern. And it will be the 6 times champions of Brazil, Sao Paulo, to get the second 45 minutes underway. So Müller has actually put his top back on. You can only presume his arrival is imminent. Just the one change at the break for the Bundesliga champions.
It was a strange one. Müller was doing comprehensive warm-up.
Yeah. But as you were alluding to in the first half, Bayern will hold the ball up a lot better now with Mandzukic as the focal point.
Absolutely. You want to get involved in the play. Pizarro doesn't really want to get involved in the general play. He just wants to score goals. Already you see Mandzukic out in a wide right area, allowing Robben to make the run through the middle.
15 in 24 Bundesliga appearances last season. In his debut campaign from Wolfsburg, Mario Mandzukic. Fair to say he hit the ground running in a Bayern shirt, and a dream season it turned out for him and the club. Robben. Almost got away from Reinaldo. This is Rodrigo Chao. Ganzo the substitute. Douglas. Jadson. Schweinsteiger. Ian Robin. Crowd waiting for him to make something happen. Stopped though by Rodrigo Chow, the 19-year-old.
A bit lightweight in the first half, didn't he? Rodrigo Chow was beaten far too easy on a couple of occasions. When he did have the ball, he was dispossessed quite easily. It's good play from him, just supporting his fullback, Reinaldo.
It's a foul by Javi Martinez.
Certainly Schweinsteiger just catches him. Martinez got the telling off from the referee. It's Schweinsteiger that committed the foul.
Reinaldo for Sao Paulo. Rodrigo Chow. Ganzo. Edson Silva.
That's the problem with the printed team sheet rather than a match day programme. 2 or 3 of them have come onto the pitch already. These sort of planes, I suppose.
Well, that was travelling more like a jet.
Now, Chant. Oops, I was going to say they're going to whip this ball into the danger area. They turn away from that, try and build up play again. Bayern.
Royce. Lovely little touch for Alaba. Ribéry. Much better tempo from Bayern. Stopped by Wellington. Aloisio dispossessed. Alaba has a look up. Tries to find Mandzukic, away by Rafael Toloi. Robin. Mandzukic! It's an opportunity for a man of his standards.
Yeah, good movement from him. Great pass from Arjen Robben, just lifting this one into the box over the first centre half. Ribéry had made a run as well, but once he got there, expect him to score there. There's that bit of play from Kroos that just opened up the play for Alaba. See Wellington again in that good defensive midfield position, just getting back across. Doesn't make too much contact with the ball.
Ribéry did stay down after that particular challenge.
It's interesting to see how players develop. When you see a lot of youth football, which I do, under 20, under 17 World Cups, Ganzo would be a much better prospect than, say, Kroos, who was playing in the same sort of competition. Yes, Kroos was highly regarded, but Ganzo and 1 or 2 others, Wellington, were seen as far better prospects. It's not always been the case.
Sao Paulo, like Bayern, a great history and tradition of giving their own a chance. So many of the squad have come through their system. Here's Ribéry, Mandzukic waiting.
That's what Mandzukic does do well. He spins into other areas, so it leaves space for the likes of Ribéry to make his little diagonal run. Just can't wrap his foot around it well enough there. If Mandzukic was injured, it'd be interesting to see whether Guardiola did go with a centre forward or whether he played with a withdrawn centre forward.
Here's Lahm in an advanced position, and a weak effort really from Schweinsteiger.
It was a weak effort in the end, but Guardiola was at Barcelona and made Lionel Messi, who was a winger, come and plays that sort of second centre forward when there wasn't really one up there.
Robin could do that job, I suppose, has done in the past.
Done it very well. Means that Müller can then go and play in a wide area. He has got options, but
and there is one Mario Götze, of course, not on the pitch at the moment too.
A player from Dortmund, exceptional young player as well.
Robin. They've got one of the two they wanted from Dortmund. Still have to wait and see whether anything happens between the closing of the window and now with Robert Lewandowski. Lahm. Ribéry's made the run. Lahm has seen him. It's Ribéry. He was trying to set up Mandzukic. And Rafael Toloi got the most important touch.
Really good vision. There's some of the Manchester City players. Dzeko, who was voted man of the match in the previous game. What a lovely pass that was from Philipp Lahm. At times they've been really unbalanced in Sao Paulo back four.
So Janssen departs. Adelmason is his replacement as Robin rather takes the corner. And Mandzukic couldn't get over that one. So just to reinforce the point we were making, 19-year-old Adilson, another player who came through their system when he made his first team debut last year. Has over 35 minutes in the Allianz Arena against the treble winners Bayern Munich.
So he's going to play out on this right-hand side. Enzo is playing behind the main striker.
Rafinha. Robin. Ribéry onside. Good strength again from Edson Silva, but Ribéry didn't give it up. And then it was Lahm who had a swing, deflected for a Bayern corner.
Yeah, he tried to shoot it out of play, didn't he, the defender, Silva. Ribéry did well here. Lost control here. Just tries to shoot it. Ribéry just keeps it in play.
Corner goes short. It's back with Robin. There's the touch, and at the back post, Mario Mandzukic finally gives Bayern the lead. It's taken almost 55 minutes, but the man who got 15 league goals last season gets them off and running tonight.
Well, they had three players in the box that were unmarked. Bayern, and the ball is played in. After Sao Paulo lose concentration here, the ball goes out into a wide area. They start to squeeze up. Players run into the box, they don't recover. Dante wins the first ball, and Mandzukic is just about onside. It's a good finish. This came to him very quickly after Dante, well, it doesn't hit Dante in the end, it hits the central defender and just gets the flick on it. And a good finish. Silva just gets the touch there, and Mandzukic with his laces blasts it past the goalkeeper. Good finish.
So the Croatian has only been on the pitch 10 minutes, and already he's made a difference. Sao Paulo's Maicon, not to be confused with the one formerly of Inter and Manchester City. And the 27-year-old is on for Rodrigo Chao. He knows his country well, having formerly had 3 years with Duisburg. And he comes on with his team trailing by a goal to nil.
Just inspire Sao Paulo to play with a bit more conviction, to get more players in forward area to press the ball. It has here.
Adilson just trying to slide that through to Lucio. Schweinsteiger. Alaba. Will this release the Bayern shackles? Muller is imminent. Robin. Kroos couldn't bring them under control. They still haven't got this clear. Sao Paulo, Mandzukic. Ribery. Stopped by Douglas on that occasion. But it's broken to Mandzukic. Nice bit of skill from him. And he sets in Ribery. Just too strong for Robin. Still alive with Lahm. Rafinha. Lahm is onside.
Now there's a chance of a counter here.
Fabrizio. Disappointing ball from him. There's the goal scorer Mandzukic. Ribery. Foul by Kroos. On Adilson. It's a yellow card for Toni Kroos as well.
He's done well since he's been on. Adilson just pitching the ball off Kroos. Kroos grabs hold of his shirt and shorts there. He can argue as much as he wants, but in any game that's a yellow card.
Nearly an hour for Arjen Robben. Big smile as he's replaced by Thomas Muller. 13 goals in the championship winning season last year. Saw them finish 25 points clear of Dortmund. Bayern, of course, beaten just once. High standards for Pep Guardiola to try and follow.
He's got to get the balance right between trying to impose his philosophy and style of football on the team, but also keep that winning mentality and the things that were done so well last year. There he applauds the closing down. It's very casual, doesn't he? Used to seeing him in that black suit with the white shirt, sometimes the thin black tie.
He's followed your approach of the beige jeans and bright orange trainers. You are clearly the leader in that side of fashion.
Yeah. Beige jeans, I'm not sure about the orange trainers.
Edson Silva clear. Dante's header. This is Douglas. Too strong for Lucio.
It's a poor pass, wasn't it, from Douglas in that sort of area. It's a chance for a break. Lucio had made a run, trying to get inside Martinez.
Forward from Schweinsteiger. Comfortably picks out Ribery. Ribery once more. Kroos goes ahead of him. Cut out by Rafael Toloi. Ganzo. Bayern can try and build again. Rafinha. Lahm. Muller trying to turn. Back to Lahm. Now Kroos. Always rising the strike from him. It was deflected off Wellington. It's another Bayern corner.
And there's what I was talking about earlier. Mandzukic went out to the right-hand side. Muller went through the middle. And the ball comes out to Kroos. Tries his luck with his left foot.
Ribery's corner should be the goalkeepers. Cheney's punch clear. Lucio. Adam Nielsen trying to make the run one side, and it's the right back Douglas who's done so on this one. Oh, and he was looking for Lucio to continue his run.
I'm not sure Guardiola will be too impressed with the way Toni Kroos was beaten there in midfield. It really did look as though he was struggling for pace. He was chasing back.
Ribery is looking for Alaba. Rafael Toloi had read the situation for Sao Paulo, who are going to make another change now. It's a 1-1 for Bayern too. Lucas is replacing Ganzo, it would appear. No, the number 8 is for Bayern, I think. Van Buiten for Dante. Boateng is also going to come on, presumably for Javi Martinez, as they change the central defenders.
Here is that goal again. Ball whipped in. Sao Paulo players were still coming out as the ball was played in. Yes, the centre half stays in there, but it's a 3 versus 2. And a really good finish. Almost uses the outside of his boot, Mandzukic. Well liked by Guardiola.
So Lucas on for Fabrizio for Sao Paulo. Bayern now have the 2 central defenders who started the Super Cup defeat to Dortmund on the field. Boateng and Van Buiten. Muller. There's the third change. Newman. Kirchhoff is playing in midfield. And he, of course, was announced in January, like Guardiola, from Mainz. The German under-21 international is a giant at 6'5".
Good start from him, winning the ball back in midfield, getting his shot away.
Here comes the Bayern corner. It's towards Van Buiten. Adam Nielsen. Lucas. Taking on Rafinha. And foul by his fellow Brazilian. And a substitute who's on loan at Sao Paulo from Deportivo Brazil.
Goes down fairly late, but it's a little bit of play from him, running at the inside of Rafinha, then going down the outside. Certainly a foul. It's interesting to see Rafinha at half-time. All the Brazilian players were giving him a hug. The manager was giving him a hug.
He's got some defending to do here with his Bayern teammates. Very nearly reached Adam Nielsen. Now can Kroos break for Bayern. Muller. Ribery, it's Alaba, the left back, is furthest forward. Back to Muller. Alaba, and then Muller. Oh, he couldn't finish it off.
What a sweeping move that was from Bayern Munich. Started off with, as you quite rightly said, Adam Nielsen nearly wins the header up one end. A couple of 1-2s. The last pass. There's the brilliant 1-2 on his left foot. He gets the ball stuck, it's between his feet, so he's not quite sure how to finish it off. Certainly wasn't going in. He had the cut back on. 2 players were racing into the box. Could have side-footed it to them. I think he went for goal there. He just mishit it completely.
Referee's whistle had gone.
Whack for the goalkeeper. Cheney from the substitute. Kirchhoff. Knee into the side of the leg, that would hurt.
It's quite a character, the Sao Paulo goalkeeper. The one-club man. And Kroos being replaced by the Swiss international Shaqiri. Linked with Liverpool in the last 7 days, the 21-year-old. who Bayern acquired last summer from Bâle. Only started 13 games.
And I've seen him play for Switzerland. When he played as a young player in their junior teams, he was absolutely outstanding. He made things happen, go past people. He's got a great shot on him. Just hope his development isn't thwarted by not playing enough games for Bayern. It's all very well going and signing for the top club in Europe, but if you can't play very often, I'm not sure it does you too much good.
Well, in his position, if fit, he has to dislodge Ribéry, Robben and Müller.
And of course, there's also Goetze, as you said, to come back into the reckoning.
It didn't look the most positive summer for this man Shaqiri, did it? That's why the stories emanating at this time of year. Links with other clubs. Müller. Blocked by Rafael Toloi, not for the first time tonight. Bayern corner.
Couple of good bits of play from Müller. He's the sort of player that Guardiola will look at. He's not quite as technical as some of the other players. He's certainly a good mover off the ball. Makes some good runs.
Shaqiri's corner. Cheney's punch. Rocio. Free kick to Sao Paulo. A replacement for this tournament, incidentally. It was Santos who originally invited. They weren't allowed by the Brazilian FA to compete. And because Sao Paulo have to play Kashima Antlers on August the 7th, the Brazilian FA quite happy to cancel 3 league games to allow them to compete. There's Lucas Farias and Luçao. Come on for Sao Paulo. Rafael Toloi there's had an excellent game. And he's sworn to depart. Well watched by Neuer.
Oh, it's undone by one long ball through the middle. Centre half's just caught sleeping there. Rocio trying to get in between the two.
Rafinha. Shaqiri. Better tempo from Bayern. Alaba tried to feed Mandzukic. And it was Luçao, the recently introduced substitute, who committed the foul.
Just gets the wrong side there, trying to win the ball back. Lucas Silva.
Ribéry's delivery. Drill back in, a decent try too from Shaqiri. Space now for Adilson. Came off Boateng, Neuer unable to prevent the corner.
Yeah, good switch of play. Said he's looked lively. Admilson out on this right-hand side. There's the shot from distance. Easy save from Cheney.
Deeper corner this time, and it was the central defender Edson Silva who got his head to it for Sao Paulo.
He does look a threat, doesn't he? Even when defending the goal that Bayern scored, it was him that won the first ball, albeit a flick on into the path of Mandzukic. It's a good early jump. His own player gets in his way. Powerful header, just can't keep it down.
alarms. Night in midfield is over. And Mitchell Weiser, who's a 19-year-old who was signed 12 months ago from Cologne, didn't make any appearances last season. In fact, spent the second half of it back on loan with Kaiserslautern. Another one who they have high hopes for on in his place. Chance for him to mix it with the big boys. That pass didn't reach him though. Ganzo for Sao Paulo. And back by Kirchhoff. Ribéry up against the teenager Lucas Farias. Big test for the 18-year-old on at right back as a substitute. It's back to Shaqiri. Ribéry's delivery, Mandzukic waiting. Watched all the way by Chenny.
Did well again, the goalkeeper. Good early throw as well. Sao Paulo can't really counter with any speed.
Wellington. Well, Sao Paulo started this game with the impression that if you'd said to them there'll be 17 minutes to go and you'll only be 1-0 down to Bayern Munich, they would have grabbed your hand. And that's exactly the scenario they've managed. Handball there.
I think the objectives of both sides is totally different. Bayern Munich building up to their season, new manager, just trying one or two things out. It's about getting fitness, about getting a philosophy of the way you want to play. And Sao Paulo in the middle of their season have had a terrible time. I think they're looking to get a bit of confidence, they're looking to get a good result.
And that was cleared only as far as Ribéry. Mandzukic, look at Alaba again, going down that left-hand side. And again, it's well watched by Chenny. What an athlete the Austrian international is.
He was outstanding last year. Looks like he's going to have another good season this time round.
He's got a job in his hands, Paolo Atturi. 21 days into his second spell at the club. Not a popular appointment in the first place. Another win in 11 in all competitions.
It's unheard of, Sao Paulo, to be as low as they are. Looked like a side devoid of confidence. It's a strange system that they played in the first half with their two supposedly front players playing in wide areas and Jadson trying to make forward runs from a deep midfield position. Never looked like penetrating or getting much of the ball.
They actually left Brazil just a point above the relegation zone. They finished top 4 last season. Here's Müller. Mandzukic, will it come down for him? Another good stop from Chenny.
Good ball as well from Thomas Müller. There's what I'm talking about again. Mandzukic ends up on the right-hand side. Müller goes through the middle. They can constantly rotate their positions. Good first touch as well. Just allowing him to get the volley away. Probably should go across the goalkeeper. Chenny stands up well again.
Shaqiri takes. Huge kick from Neuer.
People talk about Neuer being obviously one of the best goalkeepers in the world. I'm sure that's true. Always feel as though there could be a mistake in him. Saw a lot of him last year, and I know he played well, but he didn't have that much to do at times. He just felt when the ball was at his feet, he could make an error or two, make the wrong decisions charging out. And Guardiola will want him to play out from the back. He will want him to be a switcher play so he can play out to the far fullback. It'll be a big season for the goalkeeper.
Wellington for Sao Paulo. Lucas Farias. He's only ever played twice for Sao Paulo's first team. Now he's up against Franck Ribéry. Here's Shaqiri. Great first delivery. And that was unfortunate. The offside flag was up anyway. Mitchell Weiser it was, the teenager trying to finish it.
Yeah, making the right sort of run into the box. Shaqiri getting in behind the fullback. Just played the ball into the danger area quickly. Mandzukic setting up play again. Certainly not offside there. And it can't be offside there because he's behind the ball. Just can't get above it. Does well to stretch out. Shaqiri didn't need to play the ball in the air. He could have just rolled that along that 6-yard box.
Well, Aloisio departs. He had a tough old time up there for Sao Paulo. There's the new boy Silvinho, the 23-year-old who is on. And Ribery has had another very effective evening. And it is young Green, another teenager, who is offered the opportunity. Julian Green for Bayern for the last 12 minutes or so.
It's all changed now. If you're the players that started the game are on the field, as you expect in these pre-season games, albeit a tournament. Another game tomorrow.
Shaqiri dispossessed by Lucas. Reinaldo for Sao Paulo. First touch for the new boy Silvinho is a heavy one. A reminder that the likes of the former Arsenal player Denilson, Luis Fabiano and Lucio, and the Argentinian defender Clemente Rodriguez offer a huge experience for Sao Paulo. All 4 of them unavailable tonight.
I haven't seen a lot of Denilson over the last few years. I'm not always sure that's a big worry for Sao Paulo.
I have to report that he is one of their most important players, Stuart, which may suggest why they're 1 point above the Brazilian relegation.
Well, he's a decent passer of the ball when it comes to
is
playing.
He perhaps more suited to the Brazilian league than the English one?
He's a non-athlete. People can run off the back of him. There's what I'm talking about, Neuer. He gets there, but that could easily have skipped over his head. Does he need to get there? Was the defender going to get there first and just play it back to him? Crowd applaud him. I'm sure that's always the right decision from the goalkeeper. But Denilson, I saw a lot of him. He's a non-athlete. He can't run particularly quickly, so when he was dispossessed, he couldn't catch people back as the holding midfield player. People could run off the back of him. When he passed the ball, he didn't ever create a goal-scoring opportunity. His passing was all simple, square, 5-10 yards. Arsene Wenger always said that he was a world-class player, but I'm not sure too many of the Arsenal fans could see it. Unlike Gilberto Silva, who did a magnificent job for Wenger over a number of years. As we said earlier, Gustavo is playing a similar sort of role for Scolari for Brazil at the moment.
Will he get enough minutes at Bayern this season? Will he even be at Bayern come September the 1st? Here's Shaqiri. That's the youngster Green trying to get on the end of that. And it's a very exciting squad on paper. Bayern, the new boys, Mario Götze and Thiago. Keshoff, who's on the pitch at the moment. Only strengthen that, as we were discussing earlier. So it's just one more piece, that all-important centre forward for that man. We know who he wants. We know that player would like to come. Borussia Dortmund, quite understandably, having lost Götze, don't want to sell Lewandowski to Bayern.
He's getting a bit agitated here, Guardiola. He wants the movement, he wants Mandzukic to go infield. That's what he was getting upset about.
Müller. Keshoff looking for the ball over the top. It's that Manalaba again.
He's got such energy running from deep. Keshoff with the pass. It's an excellent one. Mandzukic may have been the target, but Manalaba got there first. just couldn't get his touch out of his feet. I think some of these players, if the scoreline remains the same, will be tested much more tomorrow against Manchester City. It was a rampant Manchester City earlier on today.
Wellington. Given away by Lucas for Sao Paulo. Shaqiri. Floats it into Muller. Just lost his footing at the all-important moment. Reynaldo. Into Ganzo. Adam Nielsen stopped by Boateng.
Another interesting player, Boateng. How many starts will he get in the side? Can play centre-half, can play at full-back.
Here's Rafinha. Mandzukic wants it. He's had a look up. He was never receiving it with that delivery.
I think Boateng will probably be hoping that Lahm continues to sort of play in that midfield role. It might give him a chance at right back. But the one thing you do know about Bayern, if they are successful in the cup competitions, they will play a lot of games this year. And it will give chance for other players. Guardiola will rotate his players. So, although you're not first choice, you could end up playing 20 or so games.
As I say, Sao Paulo have had 3 league games cancelled by the Brazilian FA to allow them to have this spell in Europe. They might even be in the relegation zone by the time they go back, playing catch-up. Here's Silvinho, their new striker. And Boyton's touch, Sao Paulo corner.
He was trying to say the ball was already out of play before Silvinho got his cross in. And Boyton, not the quickest player when he's being turned. Well, it's touch and go. Just about gets back in there, Van Boyton. Good start from Silvinho.
He and Boateng, of course, had a spell with Manchester City. And he might well be facing them in the final tomorrow. Here's Muller. Here's Bayern break to try and make sure. Shaqiri. This is the youngster Green. Can he pick out the all-important pass? No, he can't.
And Muller had made a really good run for him. He started off at the back post. He was looking for the cutback. Green had played it along the ground. Muller was in there for a right foot shot.
Nice touch from Mandzukic. Shaqiri! Surely the second. It's in from Weiser, the youngster, on as a substitute. And on with the goal that clinches Bayern's place in the Audi Cup final against Manchester City tomorrow. Nice moment for the 19-year-old. He couldn't really miss.
He showed good composure though, didn't he, when the ball fell to him. He could have easily blasted that over the top first time. Shaqiri did everything right, making that forward run. He's played in behind the main striker, really. Shaqiri made a good forward run here. Mandzukic setting up the play. That's what we've been talking about. So much better than Pizarro. And there, instead of blasting it, he waits for the goalkeeper to go to ground and passes it into the corner of the net. Another one of the young German players that's highly regarded, Weiser. There it is, waits for the goalkeeper to go down. Good composure from the young player playing on the big stage.
That won't do him any harm. And finally, there's daylight between Bayern and Sao Paulo. And the final most expected and probably hoped for will now be taking place tomorrow between Manuel Pellegrini's Manchester City and Pep Guardiola's Bayern. And the referee has blown here. And he's given a penalty, has he? He has, to Sao Paulo. Disbelief in the Bayern ranks, but Dennis Tekin has pointed to the penalty spot.
Here's Chenny. Here's the ball into the box. There's a little shove in the back. It's a silly shove as well. Doesn't need to do. He actually almost shoves him into the ball.
And the goalkeeper has come up. He holds the world record for a 111 goals. Regular free kick and penalty taker. Chenny against Neuer to make it 2-1. And Neuer comes out on top.
Well, he waited and waited. He was looking at Neuer. Good save from Neuer. It's a silly challenge from Boateng to give away the penalty in the first place.
It was an eventful end to a game that took its time to get going. 111 goals in his 22-year career. Rogerio Chenny, the goalkeeper. When you looked around, there was no doubt who was taking it.
He charged up from the back. Unfortunately, he had to charge all the way back again.
Inside the last 2 minutes, here's Müller. Oh, decent go from Green. He's got it back across as well. Weiser. Müller to drive one.
A good cross from Müller in the first place to Green at the far post. And Chenny doing what he's supposed to do here. He's looking at the goalkeeper Neuer. Thinks that Neuer's going to stand his ground so he could roll it into the corner. Didn't have enough pace and wasn't quite accurate enough, was it? He's not watching the ball and he looks down at the ball at the last minute. Or last second, should I say.
Laba takes a rest for the Danish under-19 international Pierre Husberg to come on. For the last minute, he's just 17 years of age. Became the youngest Bayern player ever to play in the Bundesliga against Nuremberg in April. So they may have their stellar names, they may be going after the big boys in the European market, but they're as keen as ever to try and get their young talent through as well. Still looks 17 too, doesn't he?
So he's going to play in one of the midfield areas.
Final few seconds of the 90 now.
He's actually going to play as the holding midfield player, Husberg.
And there it is, confirmation that the hosts and treble winners Bayern are through to tomorrow's final to take on Manchester City. Pep Guardiola tried plenty of different ideas tonight, and he will meet Manchester City in this stadium tomorrow in the final, courtesy of these 2 goals in the second half.
Well, the first one came from a cross. Sao Paulo went to sleep at the set play. When the cross comes in, centre-half just gets a little touch on it here. And Mandzukic at the far post. This still was a good finish. It came to him quickly. He just got the outside of his right boot onto it.
And then the substituting teenager Mitchell Weiser on target with the second.
Well, Mandzukic sets it up for Shaqiri, who did everything right, trying to bend it round the goalkeeper. And when it comes back to Weiser, a very composed finish. Controls it with his chest. Waits for the goalkeeper to go to the ground. And then just passes it back into the other corner. Excellent finish.
So those supporters will be back tomorrow to see their team face Manchester City in the final that most wanted to see. Sao Paulo will play Milan. Robin voted player of the match. they have one more game before the defence of the German Cup begins, and then in 10 days' time, Borussia Mönchengladbach here in the Bundesliga when it begins for real. So Bayern safely through to the final by 2-0.
ESPN's pre-season coverage is brought to you by BT Sport, the perfect warm-up to the new season.
You are watching ESPN.